What's going on? Friday night with the bros. It's your boys, Ron and Nick. And we do have a guest appearance tonight again. Jalvin Conson. Boys, how we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. Friday night with the bros. Let's do it.
Yeah, I should say bros, not boys.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Apparently, Jalvin has some more games for us to play, but this time it's Ron versus Nick. You're going down.
Doubt it.
Jalvin,
So,
go ahead.
Let's
some of the viewers have, I've seen some comments and some
Actually,
chats
you know what?
where-
Sorry, can I cut you off real quick? We forgot the most
Sure.
important thing
That's
of
what I
the
was gonna
night.
say.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Ron, what are you drinking?
Oh yeah, the beer.
The beer.
So
We
this
are
is
bros
actually-
and beers.
This is actually one I haven't seen from these guys before, but I'm going with Surly Brewing Company Oktoberfest. I love me some Oktoberfest. It's almost it's almost October, and love Surly, Minnesota made, baby. That's what I'm drinking.
Perfect for watching football.
Right?
My beer of the night.
Cheers.
I think this is a local one again. Liftbridge, aren't they? They're in Minnesota.
Bridge, yep.
Stillwater.
If you didn't
They're
know
brewing.
this,
Their brewery's like right across the street from my house.
Minnesota apparently has like all the breweries because I got Liftbridge Mango Blonde. It's a nice hint of mango, and if you drink enough, you might get lucky with a blonde or something. I don't know.
Oh, don't let your wife hear that.
It was a joke. Jalvin, what are you drinking? Hey,
Well, to be honest, boys, I am out of beer, so I'm hanging out with my girl Mary Jane.
Hey.
there you go. So should we start calling you Spider-Man then?
Well, I did choose some web.
Oh. Alrighty then. Well, let's get to the
Okay,
to
moving
the
on.
game of the night. That was All right. Joe,
Oh, we ready to play a game?
Yep, let's do it.
There we go.
So we were reading some comments, we were looking at some chats, and some of the viewers thought that you guys agree a little bit too much on streaming and videos. So I decided to create a game to pit you guys against each other that also, at the same time, helps the community with these three players. So I picked three players that you guys have ranked differently. A quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver. And two of them Nick has ranked higher than Ron, and one Ron has ranked higher than Nick. So I'm going to start with the quarterback. All I want is for you guys to disagree and tell me
Just debate?
why you're right and the other guy's wrong.
Wait. What's the name
Love
of
it.
Wait. What's the name of this segment?
No, bro. No.
Wait. Is it bro? No.
No, bro.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, bro.
We're good.
No.
All right, so we're going to start with Nick. You have Sam Darnold ranked at QB 13. Tell me why you are confident in putting him just outside of the top 12.
Ooh.
And then we will see what Ron has him ranked.
All right. So Sam Darnold, first off, he's missing Addison, which I was hoping Addison would have played, but he has done great so far against the let me think. He played the 49ers week 1, and then last week they played was it 49ers week 2?
49ers week 2.
Yeah. Week 1 is against the Giants. That doesn't count. But either way, he tore up the 49ers last week. He's got his man Jefferson. They seem to have the running game doing pretty well. But I think it's going to be a shootout this week, and they're going to have to score. And Darnold does not throw the ball away. Does not throw the ball away much and does not turn the ball over. I think he's going to have 260 and 2 touchdowns, which is probably give or take 13, 14.
Yeah, you have him ranked as a the highest QB2 of the week.
Yeah,
basically.
I think that's
right?
fine. And okay, so here's another reason. I think Houston has a lot better run defense than people give them. They got Will Anderson, who is a monster. I think the run game could struggle, which would mean that Sam Darnold has to throw the ball more. So, yeah.
Okay, well, Nick has said his piece, Ron. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree that Sam Darnold is playing great. I think.
Hey, wait a minute.
You can't
This
say
is
that.
not
You can't
an
agree.
agreeing game because you have him ranked at QB 21.
Listen,
Hold on a second. QB 21.
Bro.
Let's.
No,
What is
bro.
happening here? Tell me.
No, bro, no.
No,
Are
bro,
you
no.
are you wrong, Ron?
Listen. No, bro, no. If you would have let me finish what I was gonna say. He has been playing better than expected, but this week against Houston pummeled Caleb Williams last week, and I think they're going to do more of the same with Sam Darnold. I don't think he's seen a lot of pressure where it's affected him a whole lot, and I think DeMeco Ryans is probably going to try to disrupt his pocket as much as possible. And I think in 2 games he's shown great pocket presence. But if the Texans blitz like they did last week, I think it might be tough going for him this week. Obviously, as a Vikings fan, I want him to do good. He's our quarterback, but I think this is going to be watching what Houston did to Caleb Williams. If they can replicate that, it's
I will.
Obviously, the Bears have a much worse offensive line than the Vikings do.
I was going to say, I will counter that with the Vikings have a really good offensive line, where the Bears' offensive line is trash.
So, Nick, if you can share my screen, I would like to show you guys the distance between your rankings, and then ask you about a couple of the players that maybe are below Nick's ranking of Darnold, but above Ron. So let's kind of look in between there. So Ron, for example, this week is saying that he trusts Sam Darnold less than Caleb Williams, which please talk me into that.
Wow.
I think with that it was matchup based. Indianapolis made Malik Willis look like a decent quarterback last week. He was pretty efficient throwing the ball, and I definitely think there's going to be a point where he has a game that might turn around his season, and this could be it. Indianapolis doesn't have the greatest defense. I think their best pass rusher is banged up right now, and Kwity Paye. They don't have a very good secondary.
DeForest Buckner also went on the IR, so that helps.
There you go. He's probably their best defensive lineman, period. Kwity Paye's been banged up. I think if there's a week that we have kind of been waiting to see what Caleb can actually do. He's played against 2 tough defenses so far. This is definitely going to be his easiest matchup. Maybe DeMeco Ryans showed the blueprint on what to do against them, and maybe Indianapolis blitzes the crap out of Caleb like Houston did last week, but this is his best chance to show everybody that he's legit and put up some numbers. I think me having Caleb higher is matchup based.
Nick, let's look at your rankings.
Game.
Let's look at your rankings, Nick, and I want to ask the question.
I already know who you're going to talk about.
If you were a team in fantasy who happened to own Sam Darnold and Derek Carr on the same team, you're telling me you would start Darnold over Carr this week?
Yes.
Why?
I think Philadelphia's defense is going to come out just roaring against the Saints. I partially think that Derek Carr's start has been a fluke. I think he's been really good, but when you're only throwing the ball 16 to 19 times, it's hard to believe in that. Now, I will say, as you can see, I have them back to back, so the difference between them two could be 2 points. But I just think that Darnold against Houston is going to have to throw the ball more than Derek Carr will. Derek Carr has Alvin Kamara, and I think the Saints defense, I hate to say this, I think the Saints defense is better than Minnesota's. So I don't think Derek Carr will have to do a lot this week. They could potentially hold Philadelphia to 17 points because their offense has not looked great. They're missing A.J. Brown. It could be, I know their over-under is pretty high, but I don't think, if you're a betting man, I would take the under on the Philadelphia game. And Houston, Minnesota could be a shootout. So.
All right, well, we've set our pieces, and we will check in next week to see who was right. Will Sam Darnold be a high QB2 or a low QB2, basically? That's kind of what we're looking at.
We had a question in the chat from OMG It's Ka. Why is Trevor Lawrence struggling this year?
Bum.
Did you say bum?
I said bum. He's overrated.
Just how you guys have him ranked?
Yeah, so real quick, Keywater, if you want to throw a vote on who's going to do better between Ron, for this whole segment, if you want to throw a vote between who's going to do better between Ron and I's players, please do. Go on, Ron. Answer the question about Trevor Lawrence. I think that's good, though, for chat to do that.
I think... I know last week he played against a good defense in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And week 1 he played against the Dolphins. Dolphins aren't the greatest defense in the NFL. I just think he's never, besides like Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, he's never really had the same weapons. I should say a lot of consistent weapons. I don't think their offensive line is very good. I don't know. He's
never had a true alpha.
Yeah, that too, and maybe Brian Thomas can like turn into that. I just don't know. Maybe it's Doug Peterson not having like plays in a scheme that fit Trevor Lawrence's strength. The Jaguars have, like, ever since Lawrence and like Etienne have been drafted, they've always had like all this hype to them, and they've just never lived up to it.
So I will say this: look at Clemson's wide receivers he played with. Tell me that they didn't make him look good.
Yeah, right. And maybe that's the same thing with like Tua.
He had T. Higgins. Like, that's enough.
Right. T. Higgins, like
Justin
Tua
Ross,
had great wide receivers when he was there too, and that's why Tua looked a lot better than. Mm-hmm. And they both were like, when they were in Clemson and like Alabama, respective, they went to their schools. They were like the consensus, like top 3. Like they were playing on the best team in college football. So I don't know. I think Trevor Lawrence has shown who he is, and he's gonna be the guy that's throwing, maybe, scratching the surface on 4,000 yards and 25 touchdowns a year. He's got great athletic ability, and I don't think he uses it enough. I think maybe he tries too hard to be a pocket quarterback when he really should maybe try to evolve his game and be more of an improviser, because he's athletic enough to do it, and I don't think he does it enough to actually like reach his full potential. But
I feel like he's not panned out to be that generational player.
I think he's a good quarterback, but people were touting him as the next Peyton Manning.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Right, he's not. He's got great hair though. All
right, boys.
Who's the famous actor that's always a meme? It's not Bono.
Famous actor?
He's always in the commercials. He's the blonde-haired dude. He's super ripped. I don't know his name. You might know. Jalvin could probably find him on the screen. We'll worry about that later.
Fabio?
Yeah, Fabio. That's it. He is. There we go. Trevor Lawrence. In 25 years. All right. We get the point. Go back to our rankings. Who's our next player?
All right. So, while that was fun, the community still wants a little bit more arguing. So I decided to go into the top 15. There's not going to be as big of a difference as the last player, but it's percentage-wise it is, if you look at like the top 12. So, Nick has Devon Achane ranked at RB11 in PPR this week. Ron, why is he wrong?
He's going to be the focal point of their offense. We talked about it last week with Dump Off City. Can I get a Dump Off City in chat?
Dump Off City.
He pretty much shown that he can do it all. Raheem Mostert is banged up. He's got an injury. He missed last week. We know that Achane can run the ball. He can catch the ball. I think last year we saw Achane's ceiling. 50 points in a game. You know, he can easily put up 200 total yards in a game. I don't think Seattle's defense, they're definitely not the Legion of Boom of old. But yeah, I think he's with Skylar Thompson playing quarterback, they're definitely not going to be pushing the ball down the field like they did last year with Tua. Devon Achane, I think it's going to be more of what we saw last week with him touching the ball almost 30 times. Because he's a playmaker. I think they're going to have to rely on him to move the ball on this offense going forward until they can hopefully get Skylar a little more comfortable with the offense or until Tua comes back. So that's why I have him ranked as my RB6 this week.
No, bro, no. So here's the reasoning why. Achane, he's still high. I mean, I have him at 11. But we got Mike McDaniel, one of the greatest head coaches in the NFL. He's going to figure out a way to get Tyreek Hill in the offense. He's got not a great quarterback. Definitely a terrible quarterback. And I know I have him ranked higher in my quarterback rankings, but he's going to start putting Waddle and Hill in motion. They're not going to have any run game going against Seattle. So all of Achane's work is going to have to be in the passing game. But I fully believe that they're going to try and get their two studs involved. Otherwise, they're going to have a locker room mess if Tyreek Hill isn't getting his stuff. So I think Achane, I have him at 11, so he'll do good. But to have him at 6, I mean, do you really think that he's going to go off for 28 this week? Potentially. He could maybe he might get 10 rushes. Which, I mean, if he gets 7 catches.
He had 22 last week. If Mostert's out again, and he's the only one. I think even if Mostert plays, they're not going to.
But do you think
they're not going to.
They're going to be down. They should be down most of this game.
It's the NFL, man. Never know. I
think that Sunday, but
I think they're definitely going to get their. They're going to try to get their playmakers the ball. It's just. It's going to be easier to get Achane the ball because he starts right next to the quarterback, whether it's screens or dump offs or whatever. It's not that I don't think that they're going to try to get Tyreek and Waddle involved. It's that I don't trust the guy that's got to deliver the ball to them to have them have a good game, and I think they're just going to have to rely on Achane a little bit more than those other guys.
I think they got to figure out different ways to give everyone the ball because they know that Skylar Thompson cannot pass more than 40 yards, probably more than 30. So they got to figure out short dump-off cities to Achane. But if they want any chance of winning, they got to do a lot of motions and just get Hill in space. Same with Waddle. Like, they're more of deep threats, but they can still do work when they have the ball in their hands. And I have a feeling That's why I ranked Thompson as high as I did. That he's going to figure out a way, McDaniel, to get the ball in these people's hands. Jonnu Smith, he looked great last week. There's not a lot of running back competition, so I will give Achane that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he only has 20 yards rushing, and he could still have 70 yards receiving, which is still great. If he has 7 for 71, that's 14 points and no touchdowns. I could totally see that, and that's why I have him down at 11.
I bet Achane has 10 targets this week. I just think it's going to be so much easier for Geno to just dump off.
Geno or
Ron,
Skylar Thompson.
And I just want to throw out this stat. Last week, Seattle gave up 185 yards on the ground. So,
damn. Ron, I have a question for you. So
Yo.
let's look at these rankings real quick. Do you see how Nick has Kyren Williams at RB9 and Achane at 11? You have Achane at 6 and Kyren all the way down to 15. Talk a little bit about why he's wrong, and maybe let's talk a tiny bit about Kyren and why you got him so low.
Kyren, through 2 games, hasn't looked very efficient. I also think that with all the pass catchers getting hurt, I shouldn't say all of them, their top 2 in Puka and Cooper, I think they're going to have a little bit of a committee, because they can't, if they want Kyren to last all year, they're going to need to split the workload up a little bit. San Francisco has a good defense. They have a pretty good front 7. And he definitely could get some receiving work. He's proven to be a 3-down back. I just don't think that Los Angeles, they just haven't looked good this year. I think they're going to be down early, and I think they're going to have to rely on passing the ball. I mean, obviously I could be wrong, but Kyren just hasn't looked very efficient this year when he's had the ball. That's why I have him ranked a little bit lower this week.
Who do you have higher on dynasty rankings between Achane and Kyren right now?
Between dynasty rankings,
with or without Tua playing again?
He's coming back, right?
Dude, he's not going to not play. I think dynasty rankings, I have Achane higher because the Rams just drafted
Blake Corum.
Corum, right? They just drafted Corum. They're going to figure out a way to get him involved. And I think if Achane continues to put numbers up like he did last week, he's going to start getting more and more of the work, especially if Mostert is just going to keep getting hurt. I think Achane has definitely proven that he's one of the more explosive players in the league too. So I would go Achane over Kyren for dynasty.
Nick?
No, bro, no. I don't know if I can trust that Achane. He's going to get a lot of work if he can stay healthy. He's a smaller back. He's fast. I mean,
Kyren's small too.
Yeah,
they're both small.
I think Kyren's a little bigger, isn't he? He's 5. Jalvin, look it up. But Achane's already had injuries.
So has Kyren.
He wasn't hurt.
He was on IR for 4 games last year with an ankle injury.
Okay.
Kyren's 5'9", 202.
Okay. Here, let the guy that's looking it up on our screen do it.
5'9", 183 for Achane. Oh, snap. Kyren's
got 20 pounds on him.
203 to 180. Yeah, he's got 20 pounds, dude.
Okay.
That's a lot of weight, Ron. That's a lot of muscle.
Not disagreeing with you.
I know that Tua's younger than Devon Achane. I bet you I have it like 1 or 2 spots difference. And
here's something I want to point out.
I get a take?
You said,
or...
yeah. I'll wait. Go ahead.
No, you're
Go
good.
ahead.
Go for it. You're already halfway through it.
You mentioned earlier that Arizona doesn't have that good of a defense, but 12 for 25 for Kyren last week. 2.1 average. He's got 30 rushes for 75 yards.
It's not great. But I fully agree that, or fully think that Kyren will do a lot of work in the air, just like Achane. And I think Kyren has a better chance of getting a goal line touchdown over Achane. Like, if Mostert or Wilson is healthy, they could potentially steal some goal line work. If Quorum becomes something, he could, but on the Dolphins, they have two other people that could score touchdowns besides Achane. You got Hill and you got Waddle, and maybe Jonnu Smith now. On the Rams, no Kupp, no Puka. They have no tight end. Like, it's literally going to be the Kyren show, which he could get hurt because he's going to get a lot more touches. Well, maybe not more than Achane. We'll see, but they're going to be down, so I don't think he's going to run a lot. I'm going to be fully transparent with that. He's not going to get a lot of work on the rushing game, but he could get a receiving touch. I mean, I have
you don't
them
think
so
Achane
close.
is going to get? You're talking about Achane right now?
No, Kyren. I have them so close.
Okay.
I have Kyren 2 spots ahead of Achane, but I trust Stafford way more than I trust Thompson. I'm not sure if my
Chat's asking about, I believe, the rookie Wright.
Jalen Wright,
Yeah, so...
who is another
Well,
speedster.
isn't Jeff Wilson coming back today?
Mm,
Or this week, I mean?
I don't know.
I thought it said he was
He's
healthy.
questionable.
I thought it was
What's it say?
positive. Let's see.
Kyren TD machine. I hope so.
So Jeff Wilson off. He was taken off of the injury report.
You know who is a touchdown machine is Corum.
He is, but is he going to play? I guess you could say same with Jalen
I don't
Wright.
see a world where they don't try to fit him in and play him this year. Like, they drafted him in the 3rd round.
You would hope so. I mean,
So
as a
I don't know.
GM,
It's so unpredictable. But you think Kyron's better? No, bro. No.
no, bro.
Achane.
No. All right, so team. All right,
All
here we
right,
go. Here we go.
boys.
Team Achane, team Kyren. Who we got? Can we put a poll in the chat? Is that possible? I don't know. Does Twitch do polls? Or let's get some. How about this? If we gotta start giving out some subs, because then you could do. We got the bro emote for Ron and bro emote for Nick. You could just start throwing out emotes. I know WL Gates has it.
You kidding me?
A-Chain.
Playoffs?
Who's the third player? I'm in. You got me hooked.
Ron,
Mm-hmm.
you're going second here.
That's
Nick,
Yeah.
let's look at a player that
Ooh, he's
And-
going down.
I think in some of these videos as a guest, I want to talk a little bit about our leagues because it's funny.
Sure.
As an owner of Laporta
Mm-hmm.
and Amon-Ra,
Mm-hmm.
this player worries you. Now, if we look at the current rankings here and like who we have, you
Jameson?
have Jameson Williams
Ooh.
at wide receiver 27.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to, as you see here,
Mm-hmm.
I actually have to scroll down all the way down to 39. So tell me why Ron is wrong by saying that he trusts Jameson Williams less than Deontay Johnson and Rome.
So, one, if you look at look at the players below Jameson Williams. Not a lot of great players. Shaheed's been good. Ridley had one good week. Cooper's been terrible. Like, all those players have just been bad. And I was like, oh, I have to move him above those players. He's had 2 really good weeks. I bet you could look it up for me, but I think he's had 18 targets in 2 weeks, and he's been efficient with it. He was a 12th overall pick 2 years ago. This is the first year he's fully healthy going into a season. Like, is this a Jameson Williams breakout season? I hate to say it because I am a St. Brown owner and a Laporta owner, but like Goff seems to love him. If you watch Sunday's game against Tampa Bay, he ran like, I feel like in college he was known for just being a deep threat. How many targets?
Well, I'm going in yards first, and he's tied for second in yards with Godwin.
Yep.
And he's sixth in targets. That's a wide receiver one.
Yes. So, one, Goff is looking his way, but he can run so many different routes now. He's had 2 off seasons to actually do some work. He was hurt for the one, and then he got suspended last year. He's had nothing wrong this year. So, he's been able to like get some work with Goff. And I just think you can tell he's improved as a true receiver with his route running. And he's not just the guy that's going to run 60 yards and hopefully catch a ball. So I think he's a better player. Hopefully he's matured a little bit. Their offense is top 5, so like he could be a part of big games every week. And he has 2 other dudes on this team that should take away all the attention as far as Laporta and St. Brown and the running game. So you throw in some play action here, you put Goff on the run a little bit. Like, I think Williams could be underranked this week, especially going against Arizona. Like, that should be a high-scoring game. And they have, I know they did good against the Rams, but the Rams were banged up. Like, I don't know if I'd count that. Detroit could, they could put up 35 this week, and I wouldn't be surprised. So,
Detroit can put up 35 any week. They have a good offense.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Ron, I think you're agreeing too much here. This game
No,
is about
bro, no.
I know what
teaching
the game
each other
is.
why you're right and he's wrong. Now, let's look at some of these players that Nick has below and you have above. So you guys kind of both put Rashid Shaheed in that area, right? Who else? Wow, I'm actually surprised. So let's do some more would you rather. So Ron, this week would you really start Deontay Johnson over Jameson Williams with Dalton starting?
So I just want to admit that looking at this now, I know the segment is no bro no. I admittedly should have Jameson Williams higher.
That is totally fine.
He's played well, and yeah, looking at some of these other guys ahead of him, I have Jordan Addison ahead of him. He was practice. I think he was questionable.
Are we moving a player live on the rankings? Because
I definitely
Can I
should
make
have
another
put him
point as
higher.
well? Just looking at these rankings, Ron, you have Lad McConkey where I have Chris Godwin. Why so high on McConkey? I mean, you have Godwin higher than I do, but
I've said from the start of the season that I think McConkey is going to be. I think he's going to end up being the Chargers wide receiver 1 this year. I think Herbert's going to look his way a lot. He's a great route runner. He's got good hands, and I think the more they kind of build chemistry, the better he's going to continue to do.
I'm a little afraid with Herbert's injury and how many times he's going to throw the ball, though.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
But no, bro, no. He is. I think he's a rookie, so you gotta keep your expectations maybe a little bit lower. I think his ceiling is pretty high. I always like to go with what a player's ceiling could be. So I think it could be pretty high. I think he can once they build chemistry, he could start getting like 8 to 10 targets a game.
Yeah.
Back to Williams though. I think I definitely should have had him ranked up kind of where you had him.
Are we doing a live move, Ron? If you would like, for the chat,
I would
we
like
can do a
people.
live edit.
Hey,
so what?
Can we get an
let's talk
FTP in
through.
the chat?
let's talk it through. So we are doing a live edit. Ron,
Live edit on my rankings.
what are you thinking? Let's talk
Where
it through.
you at?
Let's talk through some of these. Go through some of these players quickly. I
first
mean,
of
we know
all,
Addison's out, right?
Addison's
Yeah,
out.
so Addison's out. Pickens, I hate the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh right now. Justin Fields hasn't proven that he can throw. I do like Calvin Ridley where he's at. I think he's gonna be a playmaker for Tennessee all year. Tank Dell, I think he's
I probably should
with
move
Nico,
Dell down.
with Nico, I think Nico and Stefan have established himself as 1-2, and Nico is 100% the alpha of that team. So I think Tank Dell is going to be a boomer bust guy. Amari Cooper, he's getting old. I think Watson is going to start looking Jerry Jeudy's way a little bit more here once they start to build chemistry. I think Brian Thomas has a really high ceiling. Christian Kirk, he's a great slot guy. He's proven that he can be a reception guy all day. Rashid Shaheed, he's a game breaker.
He's a bro.
He could score.
He's a bro.
Yeah, he could score. He's a bro. He could score a 90-yard touchdown any game.
Rashid Shaheed or Jameson Williams this week?
Williams.
Yeah.
So I think the line where I'm starting to somewhere between 27 and 30 is where
I
Nick,
should
what do
have
you-
had. I should have had Williams up there.
All right, so here, go to my rankings.
Admittedly,
real
I should have
quick.
had Williams up there.
Based on this year alone. Okay, so scroll up a little more. We're going to do a little bit of start sit just quickly. Okay, I would take J-Mo over Kirk. I would take J-Mo over Pickens. As of right now, Waddle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him over
Yeah.
Moore. Not Olave, not Ayuk. I think I would put J-Mo as high as 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
could.
no.
I could see him there.
No. I'm sorry. 22, because I would put Jackson Smith and Jigba and Godwin above him still. But so I would go as high as 22.
Will we get revised rankings in the Discord?
We could do that. We could definitely do that.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, who were those people earlier? Oh, we can talk about that later. Never mind.
So I'm having so much fun. I think we do a bonus. What do you guys think?
Bonus round?
Hey, by the way, Chad is team Achane so far.
Wow.
Nobody said Kyren.
Team Achane. That's all right.
Thanks, Chad.
Wow.
Yeah, let's do a bonus.
round.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. So how about this? You guys are not allowed to say the names out loud, but let's look at them, okay? And what I want you guys to do is each to pick a player
Fresh pickle
that
juice.
you think the other person has ranked too high or too low.
Hey,
Okay?
Real quick, can we get a cheers for fresh pickle juice? Okay. Just a quick cheers. Ron. Wow. Wow.
Welcome, fresh pickle juice. Glad you're here.
Just saying, if you follow the channel, you'll get a pretty sweet sound. It's awesome. I think everybody else wants to hear it. Sorry, Jalvin, go on.
So let's give you guys a minute so you can decide. Again, the goal here is you're going to pick a player from the other person's tight end ranking, and you're going to start the sentence with, no, bro, no. And let's start with Nick. Who's a tight end that you see on Ron's rankings
can I
that
say
is
a player
too high
name?
or too low?
I think, I can say a name?
Yep.
Two of them stand out to me, and it depends on if one of them's healthy or not. I think Gesicki is too high. I don't think he'll do bad. I mean, sorry. He had a really good game last week, but they are playing against Washington. They should beat the crap out of them. I think Moss is going to have a phenomenal game, and Chase needs to have a bounce back. I wouldn't be surprised if Gesicki goes for like 4 for 50 maybe. But, and I guess for tight ends, that's like tight end 3. But I just, looking at the other players I can't trust yet that Gesicki is going to go off.
Ron, why do you have him ranked higher above? Well, good call on Hunter Henry, by the way.
15.
But why do you have Gesicki higher?
T. Higgins is still questionable. I think Joe Burrow proved that he likes to look Gesicki's way. He obviously trusts him. We know he's talented. He was a high draft pick when he got picked by Miami. And I think we've seen that a lot of without T. Higgins, a lot of teams are going to try to take Jamar Chase out of the game. And I think that's happened the last couple weeks. Gesicki didn't do anything week 1. But 9 targets last week, 7 for 91. Going up against a worse defense this week than Kansas City. I think he could continue. Nick said, I think like 4 for 50 or whatever. If he plays, because I know he's got the calf injury, he's been limited in practice all week. I still think that he can go in there. He's definitely, besides, like, I think Eric All played more snaps than he did. But beyond, like, those two guys, they just don't have, like, much talent at tight end. So I think I definitely think he gets, like, 6 or 7 targets this week, catches 5 balls, and gets 50-plus yards, and maybe even scores a touchdown.
I will say, just to bounce back, the Chiefs have a way better run defense than Washington, which is why I was thinking that Moss could just light up Washington.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Burrow might not have to even do much. And if he does...
Very true.
Dude, Chase was so pissed off last week. I mean, you're a Chase owner. Like, he has to do something. It's only week 3, I know, but, like, he's kind of a diva. He's got to be in Burrow's ear every play. Like, dude, throw me the damn ball. What are you doing? So...
Behold,
Yeah.
the Swanson Pyramid of Greatness.
Is that Ron? Ron Swanson?
That was Ron Swanson. Ron, over to you. Let's take a look at Nick's rankings. And who do you see there that is way too high or way too low, and why?
For same position?
Yep.
Let's see.
So I can see a few here. I see Ferguson. I see Parkinson.
Likely.
I think I would have to go with Ferguson. Is a little too high. Coming off, I think he's still questionable to play this week. He's got the MCL sprain. And Baltimore just has really good linebackers and safeties, which typically are the people that are covering tight ends. But then again, you also think he's coming off that injury. How quick is he going to be? How well is he going to be able to make cuts if he does play? Baltimore's just got a great defense overall, so Dallas is yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Him not being 100%. I think this game Dak is going to
So I will say,
try to get CD the ball a lot more too. I think the wide receivers have a better game.
When I make my rankings, it's with players expected to play. So I haven't put Higgins in there because I don't think he's going to play. But like, I think if Ferguson plays, he's healthy enough to do something. And besides CD, Dallas does not have much else. So
Brandon Cooks is a good wide receiver too, but obviously CD is the alpha.
Correct.
And MCL sprains, you never know.
There's no running game with Dallas, so Dak's going to have to pass.
All right.
He's going to have to pass. It could be a defensive battle.
Right.
Hey, Jalvin, what's the over-under on that game, by the way? Dallas versus Baltimore. Can we do a quick segment on maybe some over-unders that we should hit. Can we?
I would just like
Do it.
chat
I
to
would
know
say-
that if you want to keep up with the players that we've talked about tonight, you can go to the rankings, and you'll see them highlighted in green. So you'll see that
Can you post our
Nick
Discord?
had, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about some over-unders.
Just real
First one
quick,
I'm gonna-
and then
Yeah, first,
we'll wrap
first
this
one
up.
I'm going to bring up is Giants-Browns. It's 38 and a half over-under. I'm hammering the under on that.
Oh yeah,
Same over-under with Packers-Titans.
I'm going under
Hammering
on
the under.
Saints-Eagles. Already talked about that.
Yeah, 49 and a half. That's a big one.
Broncos,
Saints
dude.
have looked
Honestly,
really good.
the way the season's going, just take the under on every single game, and you'll make money. Like literally.
It's
Raiders, Panthers under.
probably a fact.
Titans,
absolutely.
Packers under.
Dolphins, Seahawks under.
Mm-hmm. Cardinals, Lions. I don't. Oof. I'd still take the under. Well, no, that's 26-26 basically.
Mm-hmm.
I take the over on the Cardinals versus Lions.
I think that
Mr.
might be
Breezy,
the only.
follow me.
I think that's.
Nah, dude. We ain't following you. What?
Chill out.
48 for Cowboys. I'd have to look at some players. So as far as our Discord, Jelvin, you didn't go expand on it, but we have our rankings in there. We go over player bets and prop bets, any kind of announcements with our stream. We let you know when we're going live, and we just talk football 24/7. We got some people in there that know football and just like football. So if you want to join, do it, and you can just talk football all day, every day. But Jelvin, do you have any other ranking discrepancies for us?
Well, if we want to go into extra bonus round, we could look at defenses.
Ooh.
What do you guys
Ron,
think?
What do you think?
I mean, I
do
could
it. Let's do it.
I could sneak peek my start of the week
No.
because we.
No sneak peeks
Okay, we'll
yet.
keep.
We'll
Okay,
wait.
we'll keep those secret.
But we
That's
can go
coming up here
defenses.
quick.
That's fine. We can go one defense. We'll call it.
No. People, stay tuned.
We'll be live all night on Twitch, and we got some more videos for you guys. But
Mm-hmm.
Ron, do you have anything else? Any other rankings you want to talk about?
Here's the defense if you guys want
Just
to
a quick glance.
take a crack
Let's
at
just
that.
let's do a defense. I'm looking at them and noticing. I think
I kind of think you guys
Anyway.
have Minnesota low.
I think Houston's gonna come firing.
They don't have a running game. Well, if you think Akers is going to just
Ron
get
doesn't
through
even
our
have
D-line.
Philadelphia on there, or Baltimore.
So we only did top 15.
Yeah. Well, most
Typically-
teams don't have two defenses.
yeah.
Most people don't. Cincinnati, dude, why are we so close?
For
Our
all of our
defenses,
defenses.
like we're like 2 or 3 spots apart.
Here's one that I have on mine that you don't.
We
It's
got a couple.
Tennessee versus Green Bay.
No, he does. It's right here.
Yeah. No, I have Green
Just
Bay's
what?
defense. No, I have Green
Yeah.
Bay's defense.
Oh,
All right. Let's do that. Let's do that one. That's
I
perfect.
have both of their defenses on there actually.
Oh, you do. So I think Malik Willis proved last week that he can be a game manager. He's not going to turn the ball over, and they're going to run the hell out of the ball. Jacobs had, 36 rushes, I think, last week?
32. 32 for 151.
Yeah, and I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to stop them. We'll see.
Tennessee's got a better defense than Indianapolis though.
That's true.
We had a question in chat from Keywater. Who is each of our number one defense
I got the
this
Jets.
week?
Wait. For the year?
What?
Or this week?
For this week, I think. And we both have the same one.
We do.
Our top two are actually the same: Cleveland versus New York.
Let me ask you guys a question. If Young was playing, you'd have Oakland, Carolina at number 1, right?
Probably.
Did you guys
Yes.
move that one down because of Dalton starting?
I did, yes. I did mine
Okay.
last night.
Just wanted to check.
What day is it?
It's
Yesterday.
Friday.
Yeah, I did mine. No, I did
Yesterday
mine
was
Wednesday
Thursday.
night. So Dalton was
I also did mine Wednesday. Dalton was named starter on like Tuesday, I believe.
correct.
But yeah, New York. You
Nick,
saw.
I think
Sorry, go ahead, Danny. I mean,
I would-
Jalvin.
I
Wherever
would
you are.
say Tampa Bay should be above Seattle before the game. If I knew before the game, I probably would have even put it before the Jets. Because Denver, like Miami, yeah, has Skylar Thompson, right? But they still have Hill and Achane. Like Denver
Correct.
doesn't really have much.
Let's answer Keywater's answer. So my number one defense this week is Cleveland against New York. I think
Mine
Jones
is
will
too.
still have a good day, but I just think Cleveland's going to rack up some sacks, and they could get a pick or two. And New
Cleveland's
York's
got a great. Sorry, go ahead. My
New
bad.
York isn't going to put up more than, I would say, even 21 points, which is a lot. But Cleveland can get 6 sacks, and that's a great day.
We saw what Minnesota did to New York. Week
Mm-hmm.
1. This could be a repeat because Cleveland. I think on paper before the year, a lot of people were thinking Cleveland, like in real life defense, was going to be a top 3, top 5 defense all year. Great pass rush, great defensive backs, and Daniel Jones is not good when he's got guys in his face.
What are you looking up,
Realistically-
Calvin?
So this is fantasy points allowed, right? So it's points against defenses. And I was looking at the Cleveland Browns while you guys were talking, because basically green is an easy matchup, right? And brown is tough. And you can see here that Cleveland is up there, right? I was just kind of looking at like what positions is Cleveland really good at defending in fantasy purposes specifically.
So they're 5 in rank. Oh, no, that's for tight end. Wow.
I was going to say my top 4 defenses this week are Cleveland, Oakland, Seattle, and Tampa Bay. And I think all 4 are so close because of their matchups. I put Cleveland at the top because they're probably the best defense on paper. And all 4 of these teams have great matchups against the team they're going against quarterbacks that are not super great. And so, although like we both have
That's how I
Cleveland
rank
on top,
mine.
I think we both have Cleveland on top, but I think it's so close between all 4 of those teams. Like if you have any one of those defenses and you're playing them this week, you're probably going to get some pretty good production.
Correct.
So I think these are average fantasy points.
It
And this is
yes.
showing that the Cleveland Brown quarterbacks against them are averaging 12.3 points.
Not the greatest against running
Yeah.
backs. That's average. They're really good against tight ends, which New York doesn't have. How about wide
So,
receivers?
New York
Oof.
has neighbors, right?
Who did
Yes.
New England give? Oh, but they've played an extra week.
Yeah, you can't count them. I think it's automatic.
Well, Washington played against Tampa Bay, so I think we need to wrap this up, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good no start to a no bro no.
Yep, give some people a little bit of teaser of our rankings. No, bro, no. And
No, bro,
Ron and I
no.
got to hassle each other for a little bit. But like always, everyone, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. If you like our video, we get moved up and more people can see it, and you get to see it twice. If you comment on our video, any fantasy football questions, whether it's sit, start, trades, eventually we'll be doing drafts, anything fantasy football related, we'll answer it in our next video. Subscribe to get any notifications when we're live or anytime we post videos, and we will be posting a lot. 3 times a week. We're always live on Twitch. If you want to see what our Twitch is, it's right here. Right here. Bros and Beers. We got Discord, X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We're all over the place. So,
Like and subscribe, everything.
yes.
We
Until
love
next
it.
time, Friday Night with the Bros. Have a good night, everyone.
Cheers.